Roger and I are back to the amazing pre-World War I forts surrounding Verdun. One fort that has a unique design feature, one massive mortar precision. It was designed by Serre de Rivières and built in cut stone, and it would soon be put to the ultimate test during the Battle of the Marne in September 1914. Construction began on August 15, 1877. It was completed by 1888 June. At the beginning of the war, 1914, it consisted of 4 officers, 354 men, and the 166th Infantry Regiment, 2 officers, 157th men of the 5th Artillery Regiment, a few hunters, paramedics, cooks, radio operators, and a total of 6 officers and 534 non-com officers and men. Due to the construction with a redoubt in the valley, Camponnier to cover the trenches, and the masonry construction, it had already reached its limit of its capacity at the start of construction. In addition to the mortars and the howitzers, there are 16 gun emplacements on the wall, all separated from each other by a hollow berm. There was 831 sleeping quarters, 2 powder magazines for 145 tons of black powder, 2 cartridge magazines for 985,000 cartridges, 2 ovens that would produce 180 portions of bread each day. There was also a medical station with 50 beds, kerosene lamps for lighting, and there was a light signal connection to the surrounding forts. This was the only fort of the Verdun tool line that never fell to the Germans. When it was attacked, its 450 men held out for more than 6 days against constant German artillery bombardment and a 10,000-man strong German force. And it certainly has the battle scars to prove it too. In addition, the fort's resistance helped protect French soldiers in the Battle of the Marne on its eastern flank. But it truly is something to see. 3 things that truly impress me about this place. It is still strewn with live munitions that have not been cleared since the war. And the second is, how could anybody have survived in a lunar landscape such as this? It looks like it has been completely shredded, yet they fought on, and they survived. And those who didn't are still buried here in the rubble. This is a must-see.
Main ditch, it's got a caponnier down there to defend this ditch. But they said don't go off the beaten coast because there are shells everywhere. Okay? It hasn't been all demined. It's meant to resist on its own. It's a stop fort with cannons on the roof. Get in this side, maybe. Go around.
Yeah, I don't think it matters where we go in. So this was a whole wall that was covered, I'm imagining.
Well, what's happened is the front of the arches has been smashed away. The firing embrasures out to the sides.
Oh, very large arches here.
Yes, they're nice. They really need a replica mortar.
But look at this. Is this part of the ditch, or is this the wall that continued? There wouldn't have been a bridge or anything, so this is just part of the ditch wall.
Yeah.
And everything else of this ditch is just gone.
Oh, the escarp, yeah.
The escarp, yeah.
is gone, and the counter escarp is gone as well. And here's a piece of shrapnel from a big shell.
Oh.
That hits you at 1,000 kilometers an hour and chops you in bits.
Oh, it's always nice to know that there's little bits and pieces.
I got a few of those fired by the Americans. Landed in my garden.
Yes, I remember.
Oh, I showed you that?
No, you didn't, but you did tell me that the Americans shelled your house.
Oh, the hole in the roof, yeah.
I was hardly surprised. I mean, the Americans is that's kind of what we do. Is I just.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice. The soldiers of the Belle Epoque. Yeah, they're firing their bells with.
What an amazing piece of masonry, though.
It's very nice. I think most of the forts in line had a battery at the rear protecting the most. This is a pretty standard design. This one, this line of defense. Is that there?
Where have I done? Of course, it's a shell hole, unless it's the public sewer.
What this? It was termites. You know.
Termites, yeah. But so was this munition storage in these behind us? This was a mortar pit.
Yeah, the 4 mortars pointed out of these embrasures here. Lovely photos they put together. That's really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bright and shiny colors the French went to war with at the outset was just...
Oh, look.
Oh.
There's a 30.5. Is it? No, that's about 19, 17 or 19, is it? Hang on. It says a 305. Yeah, that is. There's one with the 305.
It's interesting that the way it shattered, it didn't come off in as many pieces as it should have done.
No. So that's an Austro-Hungarian one. Ah.
So if that came through here and exploded here, it would have killed everyone in here.
Yes.
So
A mortar bomb, yeah?
So this is a rear. This is the rear loading mortar. This wasn't the front loading.
Well, they originally would have been muzzle loaders. That's a French mortar that goes, look, in the tube.
Yeah.
It just goes a short distance. Now they've got that because it says the word mortar. It's nothing to do with the mortar here. Now, originally these would have been muzzle loading kind of bronze things that they had since the age of Napoleon I and before. The French did have what they called mortars, but they were 155 mortars on a slide. They may have had these in here. They're calling it a ravelin. There we are.
Oh yes, I can get this. I can go in the cabin here. So there are guns on the roof here as well.
Yeah, there were 4.7s on the roof.
Direct fire.
Yeah. Long barrels.
So this is
There's no recoil mechanism. Oh yeah, yes. On the fort roof, they would sit on a platform, a wooden platform, and the mounting, the gun mounting, would have a hydropneumatic cylinder attached to a pillar sunk in the ground, the front of the platform. And when they recoiled, they would be pushed back into approximately the same position as when they fired. When they took those cannons out and put them in the trenches as an emergency move in 1915, because so many of the 75s had been lost or blown up, they took them out of the forts and they didn't carry the platforms with them, or they put 1 or 2, but 99%, they just had to run back on those. Remember we saw the gun, the ruined gun next to that church?
yes,
The muzzle that had been hit.
yes,
They just ran backwards up sort of wooden chocks.
yeah.
And then ran forwards again, trying to maneuver them back into position. But on the roof of the fort here, they would be mounted on a recoil mechanism. Nicely done, isn't it? The way they've opened this up and lit it.
But those guns were absolutely huge. The one we saw out there. So they would have.
That's a 155. The 120 is slightly smaller than that.
Yeah.
Right, so these are infantry firing positions. Well, they have machine guns as well to defend the ditch. I wonder if that's a signalling lamp in this little tunnel. Look, could be, couldn't it?
They could have been. There would have been light lighting up the ditch outside.
That would have been pointing towards Verdun.
But this is a different build, or unless this. The way
the
the
firing platform there, which is taken away mostly.
But the way they put up these firing positions, with the bricks, with these big stones,
Yes, slabs.
instead of an actual Well, there's not a whole lot to see out there. This was this hit out high outside? Yeah, that we can't see. There's nothing to see. It was all hit and destroyed outside.
Well, no, that's the look. That's the.
This is the ditch.
That's the ditch.
Basically, practically don't even see down that way.
Not either. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't, can you? You can't see anything outside.
I mean, I would imagine that a lot of dirt outside have been kicked up from explosions and blocking the view.
Ah, wait a minute. These may be searchlight positions, look. Not signalling lamps. There's one at either edge. There would be lights to light up the ditch at the exterior.
That's what I would think. Except we can't see the ditch because it's been destroyed. Or outside's been destroyed. But at least it's the first time we see. So we actually, for the first time, we actually got into a little hallway under a ditch into a caponnier. Ish.
Yeah, I was right. Searchlights. Acetylene gas searchlights. They're throwing grenades out of. And the slits, the firing slits are for rifles.
But you really see the difference between the stone fort, the masonry fort, and the cement rebar built. This is so much more ornate.
Well, it's a German munitions case. Ah, it's the wheels of a 120mm de Bange. I thought it was when I saw those soldiers were carrying it. There were 6 or 8 very strong men.
There was originally a hole in these? Why?
Ooh, I do not know. It was, I have to admit. Did they?
So this was where the drawbridge was.
This is the entrance.
Which means everything here would have been covered.
Yeah, there'd have been a wall here. That's the pit, right, with the drawbridge over it. Look. And there's the pillar.
Yeah, that's the rail for the drawbridge right there.
Granted, the mortar precision is a gorgeous piece of construction, but in such an open hall, anything coming through, as we have seen that it did and exploded inside, how could it not kill everyone in that singular one room?
Sarah de Riviere, who built the fort.
So the main fort is in there.
That's big enough.
This was a masonry fort.
Yes.
And here you see how thick the masonry actually is.
Yeah.
So you still have like 3-4 meters of stone, or more. And then you had dirt on top of this, I'm guessing.
Yes. It's nothing. It's
Yeah.
a cannonball about something, but not a... Is it where... how did they get in here? Is there a pond? No. What did they have at the entrance?
I don't know.
I don't think they had a drawbridge here because of course they had the drawbridge is still there. The chains, pulleys, and that was above the entrance. 1878 Fort de Troyon.
So this was a self-contained part of the fort. This whole frontal artillery section.
Yes.
That was technically detached from the fort that was then in here.
But which protected the rear of the fort. Wow, these wheels.
There's a wheel for the drawbridge.
The drawbridge. Look. This shoved in there and they took it from there. Yeah. Counterweights. There we are. Came to here. They did have a pont dormant. The entry to the fort is arranged like this, I think. You have to get into the ravelin over the drawbridge they pull back. Then you fight your way through the ravelin and you get to the pont dormant. I think those are the supports for the bridge, which come over to here. Then you've got the drawbridge here, which raises and drops down. And then behind you'd have a pit. This is all changed, okay? The pit for the drawbridge.
There's the caserne. With the armored shutters.
Yeah, the shutters that you put in from the top, one by one, one by one, one by one. Yeah, it's very rare to see those. Oh boy. You'd be really pissed if your best uniform was in there with you.
Yeah.
You came back and you found that.
Glad I wasn't in there. This is just like Fort de Regret.
Yes. Yes, the peacetime barracks.
Yeah.
Just suffer the shelling. Ah, boy. A lot of bits of masonry have flown away here. Shells hit right here and blown away.
But this, it didn't surrender this place. The German never took this, right?
The Germans never took it. You see the damage they did. 8th of September 1914. So that's one row. Looks like there are 3 rows. No, 2 rows. 2 rows. I think the corners of all the other behind. Yeah, that's a water trough. For the officers' horses. There's a pipe coming in.
Something seems to have crashed into the kitchen.
Dinner will be a little late tonight. We've got to dig out the oven.
The kitchen was bigger when I left this morning. Holy hell.
Yeah, they're railway lines, look. They've chopped up railway lines.
I love these old shutters.
Wow. That is beautiful. Even on the doorway, yeah. That'll stop a fair bit.
Well, there's more of the kitchen missing.
Wow.
This literally took these shells took down the entire back of however big this room was.
Yeah.
In all rooms.
Yes. They were probably using observation balloons to direct the fire into the caserne.
Yeah. So, foray port?
Lampistery.
So they'll store petrol here, which I guess is a reason why it was open, but it was open on that side. And if anything blew up the petrol, it would blow up back into the tunnel.
Well, yeah, it was on the left where all that stuff was.
Oh, where theirs, where it already had, what actually was blown up.
Stop for petrol was blown up, yeah.
Not that I'm saying that was somewhat predictable.
More devastation in here.
So a lot of these galleries were just destroyed.
Yeah. And the Germans were cock-a-hoop. They thought, right, that's it. In we go. And it didn't work. Look, it's painted in black at the bottom. I don't know what that is. Anti-humidity or something, is it? The walls painted black all around. There is a reason that I knew 10 years ago when I was so around the 8th of September, the cannons blew to bits.
The black paint is against spiders.
Look how big this place is.
Yeah. So this tunnel used to run all the way through the outer works, I'm guessing. And then the inside is the caserne that has been properly destroyed.
Yeah.
And then you have mini rails again.
Powder room. Sepulchre of the French soldiers. Looks like they were. Oh yes.
Why?
It's just. Yeah, there are soldiers buried in here. They're still under the earth and the stones there on the left.
And the soldiers who died here when the magazine took a direct hit are still here today, guarding their post.
Did there used to be an upstairs? Wow.
Oh, yes. Yes, there is. Look, this is a powder room with the armoured glass, so you can't take a lamp in
I'm
there.
just looking at the enormous galleries where it looks like this was outside, but this was inside. This was also another
powder
gallery
magazines.
powder magazine, yeah.
And there's guys buried under there. Through the roof.
So here you'd have the armored class.
Yeah, just off.
So you could light up inside this room where you would work, or light up inside that room.
Inside that room, I think.
That room, I think this, well, yeah, there wasn't any reason to light this up. Why, this is a small room in the hallway in there. It's not really much reason to.
How'd you get into that? The armoured glass. Yeah, it's quite thick, isn't it?
It is. Well, is that it? Or is that just a...
Yeah. In a brass casing.
Oh, this is the upstairs. The top of the gallery.
Very strange construction, isn't it?
Interesting to see how...
Oh yeah, the light would shine in there as well. Look.
Yeah, at
There's
the back
armoured
there,
glass
that's where...
windows.
So this was a magazine where they would
Powder magazine, yeah.
work and move and... But this is interesting construction.
Well, a little shoot to drainage.
I mean, I think this was outside. I don't think there was a roof up here. I don't think there was a roof up here originally. I don't know.
Well, that's for water to drain away.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I think this was open.
Was it
There's
a
a
water
roof.
tank or something?
No, there's doors. There's gates and windows. I just think this was, maybe it was to load stuff in from top. I don't know. No.
God, we're on there, into there.
Into the powder magazines.
Oh, wait a minute. It's for sending the shells up onto the roof, surely.
That's, yeah, it must
The
be.
guns on the roof.
Yeah, because you have windows on, we have a door in here and then windows on all sides. Window there, or hatches, and a bigger hatch here.
Those flash-proof hatches, probably.
And another one there.
It's for loading the powder charges onto the roof. That's what it is. Interesting.
It is.
Because we don't have a fort where you still can see the arrangements for cannons on the roof.
No.
Or like this.
No, but I mean, I would imagine it would be a very short time after the outbreak of war before they started closing off any kind of, or moving all the cannons inside.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take very long before everybody would realize it's a really bad idea to have cannons exposed.
Wow. 18 men buried in there. Under the debris. Got all the names on a plaque. Nice stonework again, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. And drainage on the sides. Alright, this is how we get into this.
A little room. What is number 17?
So this is the hallway behind the powder magazines.
Right, where we would have the lamps.
Where you light the lamps and have the glass in front.
Franco-Prussian. The first function of this little gallery is to be a shock absorber gallery if there's a powder explosion.
So this would break first before it would breach the outer walls.
Yeah, before the book goes up. This is very smart.
It really is, yeah. But this is still basically 18th century construction.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
Mortar would have been very familiar with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say 19th century construction. Oh. What have we up here? Now we have red brick masonry, and now I'm confused.
Is there a number up here? That's what it is.
I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing... I have no idea what I'm seeing. Well, I mean, the gallery next to us has obviously been destroyed. And
yeah, an arched brick floor. Yeah. Big roof. Nice. It's strange. Ah, right, yeah. That's a lift, ammunition lift. There's a groove in the wall and the pulleys.
so that is what that was. So the ammunition would travel up through here. Oh yeah, yeah, there's a groove right there. I see it. Here on the other side.
Uh-huh.
So that would pull the ammunition to the exposed cannons up on the roof.
Yes.
The ones that are, we all agree, was a very bad idea.
Yeah. I think this brickwork's been put in to reinforce it afterwards.
I tend to agree. It does not exactly look like it's period.
No. Well, this is very interesting, all these little bits and pieces.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and here's the other part of the powder magazine that has gracefully come down, courtesy of German armament.
Original doors, look.
Oh, let's go look at that.
Hole in the floor.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm guessing, I mean, there must be an underground because there always is. I mean, almost. There's always an underground, come on. Look, here's a ramp leading underground.
There's an underground there. That's a downstairs.
Told you.
Ramp that. Oh no, it just stops there at a wall.
No, I refuse to believe that. I will not hear of it. There must be an underground. I mean, it makes no sense that there's a little groove there, unless it's something that's been picked up.
Unless there's an opening on the right, is there? No, there's no opening.
So I mean, that makes sense. Look at how the roof have separated from that stone wall all along the top. There's a gap.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And this is what's left of the ditch. And a small little bunker overseeing the ditch that has now been plowed up to the point where you can't actually see what his defensive position was. These are just such amazing constructions.
The 18 artillery platforms, 3 infantry parapets, and 17 abri traverse. That's a, what can you call that? It's a shelter, really, troop shelter.
If I didn't know any better, I would say post-war fix. Yeah. I know, but I see red brick that's 1916. There's a gun in here. I'm guessing from that symbol. What do you think? What do you make of that?
Ah, that there. This is how to aim a cannon, look. calculating the trajectory of the shell using the initial speed and the angle of fire.
Ah, not much have changed.
So, 1960. Ah, what have we got in there? That's for training the new recruits, I think. They engrave that on the floor. Always remember this. Oh, very strange.
With the red brick.
Yes. That's a later subdivision, isn't it?
Must be. It must be.
Story.
Well, not. Yeah, but still look. Period.
Change their minds about what they're going to have in various rooms, I suppose. Wait a minute. Where are we going? Are we out in the light? Okay.
Powder bags or sandbags?
Powder bags.
Powder bags. Oh, so there is a powder magazine of sorts.
Right. Now we're in 20, 21, 22. Okay.
There's an enormous amount of tunnels in this fort. And some of these are exposed and some of them are not. It's really interesting.
So
See,
when the Germans attacked, they slashed the barrack walls, but they couldn't destroy all these tunnels. This takes us down to Caponier. Ooh, yes. There we go, look. That's us going down there. Number 19. Where's the other Caponier?
the little one.
Strange.
Well, this certainly is going down.
Yep. It's going under the ditch, is it? No.
Yeah, I think it could. We're going quite steep. But this will be the Caponier on the other side of the little one. That one, I don't think they can see each other because of the dirt that's been kicked up in front of this.
I can choose by what that little one was now. This is in remarkably good condition for a fort that had been bombarded by 30.5.
Yeah, no kidding.
houses. Goodness, black paint.
I did not expect to look out through here and see a wall. I don't know, I expected more. I'm guessing, I don't know, some sort of a view.
Ah, no, this is it's an entry tunnel.
Ah,
Oh,
Sautéport. Well, pointing straight down the ditch.
yeah. And you know the firing chambers for the. Yes, it's the diamond ditch. What bugger me? As I said in my notes. Yeah. Never seen that in front of Caponier. The diamond ditch.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we have in.
Yes, we have. We actually have, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen one inside the ditch. Yeah, so they had diamond ditches round the Caponier. There's the Caponier, the firing chambers, etc. This would have been a 12-pounder in here, firing all the way along the ditch down there. All the Germans jump into the ditch. Hooray! We're making it. We're getting there. And suddenly, kaboom! Blown to bits by, as I said, the ninja star, followed by the lead balls, and anybody left standing is clouted on the head by a big iron disc. It's pretty effective. And here is the revolver cannon. This is in very good condition. And look at the smoke slot.
Yeah. This is
I'm constantly surprised at the amount of openings that are in the roof of this fort. Considering, I mean, but this was built in a period where...
Between 1878 and 1879, there are.
But it's in a time where plunging fire was a thing.
The masonry would survive.
Unless they, of course, hit any of the many openings. Or many holes in the roof. Wow, this is rather large. This is not so large. It's probably, I don't know what this is. Well, it's interesting how these firing positions are hiding behind large rocks as opposed to built-in directional firing ports. Same thing in the front.
Yeah.
And you're staring straight into a wall in the ditch. Unless, yeah.
This is a grenade, like the grenade shooting machine. Yeah, there's the inclined face to make the grenade bounce off into the ditch. This is an Orion, an ear which sticks out to the side. Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering about that one. Yeah, really have firing in all directions here. It is.
You see, the ditch will be much deeper than it is today, so it would be difficult for an enemy to fire back up towards us. We were just chucking grenades over there, down these big chutes as fast as we could go.
Yeah.
And this is to protect the front faces of the...
Yeah, here you have the corner of the ditch that's rounding. Well, it's one of the turns.
Yeah.
So you can fire in all directions.
Brilliant. Well, what do you think of Troyon? Is it worth coming to? When they've just climbed up here. Brilliant.
Officers'
Right.
quarters.
A sound determinating post created in December 1915. Well, that's what SRS was on that diagram. It would work out the position of enemy artillery by detecting a sound wave coming from a cannon. There were 3 listening posts. Yeah.
And yes, there will one day be a special on sound ranging.
Well, didn't know they had that. So this is their sound detector room storage. Oh, well, the microphones.
Oh, so these are artillery platforms.
Aha, yes they are.
I know that because the sign says it. Right. When in doubt, that's what makes this fort so interesting. Is it is so incredibly large and complex. It's very hard to see what is what when you're working on the ground. So that leads down to one, yeah.
The ready magazine rooms.
And here's the next.
Ah, right, here's a wooden platform. And then they would have a big post sunk in the ground for the recoil cylinder.
Right. Gonna have a quick look down.
They said that during the combat of September, the 155s were replaced by 90s.
By 90s? Where did the 155s go?
Into the trenches, perhaps, I don't know.
So that's the main walkway.
Big leg. sounds better.
There's just an enormous amount of tunnels and hallways in this thing.
Ooh, yes. Shells are found around here. Just imagine if the French had concreted this over, huh?
Yeah.
And put a couple of gun turrets, one at each corner. I wanted to change up the barracks. Yeah, so
This looks cold. Yeah, this is collapsed again. Because of course everything has been shelled to shit, so everything is collapsed. Which is probably why this red brick is fairly, maybe even that, I don't know.
an abri traverse along the Rue de Rampart, the Rampart Road. 17 abri traverse. They're used to temporarily store shells and some powder bags brought up from the powder magazines before being used in the cannons placed on the platforms of artillery.
So this, any idea how far underground we are here? Or in these tunnels?
Oh, crikey. Oh, not very far underground, are we?
No.
You
But-
yeah, the thickness over there. No, not really at all.
I mean, I guess we're looking at improvised blast walls here.
Ah, that's novel.
It is.
The wireless fort. Why would that be there? What are they doing in here? Oh, where are we going?
What the hell was this?
Right, is there something on the wall to tell us?
Here's a big hole.
Right, it's a cannon cave with a 138mm cannon.
So there was a cannon placed in here.
Yeah, it's an old cannon that they've converted into a mortar.
So oh, yeah, good. That explains why it would be firing. Well, hopefully over that hill over there, where
Yes.
isn't that the sound listening station? No,
Ooh, I don't know, that's further to the left.
that would sort of mess up your sound, wouldn't it?
It would. So this
Quite a bit.
This is cannon, isn't it? They've converted an old, it would have been a bronze cannon. 4 casemates for indirect fire. Yeah, they were old models. Long before the Dubange series. Look at the muzzles on them. Look, they're all sort of, you know.
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel.
That's what was left of one of the mortars here.
Yeah.
Something bad happened to it. So not to mention the bullet holes in the gate, or this is not bullet holes. This is really shrapnel shells. And as you probably can imagine, there is a significant underground. But at the time of our visit, it was sealed off due to the bats that were living there. I am, however, going back because there's far more of this fortress I would like to see and show you. Especially the parts that are constantly dilapidated, falling apart, coming down, or those still strewn with unexploded munitions and shells. So we'll see what I find when I come back. Behind me is Vanna von Braun's first test stand. Down the road is Dietmar's nuclear reactor. Over there is the Maginot Line and all its amazing forts. I'm visiting them all and I'm bringing them to you. So I really appreciate you like, follow, and share what I'm doing, trying to document all these important historical locations. And if you feel like you want to watch more pictures or documents that I use for these, go to lostbattlefields.com. And if you feel like helping me out with my travels, because gasoline and travel and airfare is expensive, my PayPal is there, protectionserviceinc.com. You are more than welcome, but you don't have to. I appreciate all your support and all your help, and I love seeing these locations, and I love bringing them to you.